Dear friends, now last time we talked about principle of superposition and we took some example based on that, some VSQ. Now today we start with example number 1.6. Now see the question says the Q charge is on the each vertex of equilateral triangle. See the charge Q is on the centroid, that is G. Okay, we have to find out the resultant force on charge Q, that is capital Q. Now see the, let us say the distance of each charge from the centroid is AO, AG, BG and CG is equal, that is X. Now about the pair of the charges Q and capital Q. Similarly Q and capital Q, Q and capital Q. Each three are same, each pair is of the same charges. Also the distance is same, so we can say the magnitude of each force will be equal. Let us say K capital Q upon X square. Now force is a vector quantity. We see the component. See the force F1 Q and capital Q repulsive force. That the angle is 270. That is along the negative y-axis. Now see the coordinates will be like this: F cos 270 and F sin 270. F cos 270 is 0. F sin 270 is minus 1. That is F into 0 is 0. F into minus 1 is minus F. Now the force F2, that is in first quadrant, again like charges, there will be repulsive force. See the 30-degree angle in the first quadrant, both x and y will be positive. So it will be F into root 3 by 2, F into 1 by 2. Okay. Now see the force F3, that is in the second quadrant. Okay. We can see. Now in second quadrant, x will be negative and y will be positive. So we have a negative and positive sign here. Now again F cos 30, F sin 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2 and sin 30 is 1 by 2. Now see sum of the x component, that is sigma fx. Now we can see 0, F root 3 by 2 and minus F root 3 by 2. That will be the summation of x component is 0. Similarly, summation of y component sigma fy, that is minus F plus F by 2. This also is 0. Okay. So resultant force on charge Q at centroid be F dash. F dash is sigma fx I caret. But we know this. We see the sum of the x component is 0. Sum of the y component also is 0. So the resultant force we can find out on the charge capital Q at the center is 0. Okay, so this is our example 1.6. Now next you to see the example 1.7. Now see, if it is asked in a 1 mark question, we will go for a different method. What we have seen here, F1, F2, F3 all are equal magnitude. See, we can have triangle method. See, if it is asked in VSQ, we should solve like this. Okay, that will be easy method. F1, F2, F3 all are same magnitude. Now see, first was on the negative y direction. On the head of the first vector, tail of the second vector, that is F. F2 also is F. And on the head of the second vector, tail of the third vector, F. Now, these are the three sides of a triangle, each value of the same length. We see that this forms a closed figure. We have seen earlier in the 11th standard, when given number of vectors forms a closed figure, resultant Okay, so here also the resultant. Okay, so if it is asked in VSQ or MCQ, we'll go by this method. See, this can be actually applicable to any vector quantity, that we have to keep in mind. Now next we see example number 1.7. Okay, now here it is little bit different. Here two charges are positive and one is negative. Let us say at A, B and C. On A the charge is negative, that we call as Q1. B charge is plus Q. Now here, see, we have to find out the resultant force on each charge. That is our force on charge at A, force on charge at B, and force on charge at C. Now first, we give nomenclature like this: 1, 2 and 3. So this will be F1, 2. Force on 1 due to 2. Now here, the force on 2 due to 1 by Newton's third law, F2. We can see that F12 and F21 are equal, that is F. Now the force on charge at B, that is plus Q. Now this will attract, so this will be F12 like this. But what about this F13? These are like charges, so this will be repulsive. This will be F23. That is force on 2 because of 3. Okay. Now similarly, we can say the force on charge at C. Now these are again like charges. So the charge at B will repel. So what we can see here, F32, and this will be attracted. Now, okay, this is the attractive force. Similarly, the charge at Q plus Q also will attract this. That is F13. Okay, now see the pair of the forces F12 and F21 are equal. There is, we say F. Similarly, F23 and now F31 and F13. F13 and F31 also F. Now one by one, we have to find out resultant force on each charge. Now let resultant force on charge at A, that is minus Q. Okay, now these are two vectors of the same magnitude. Now equilateral triangle, we know the angle is 60 degree. Okay, F1. So F1 but we know all are of same magnitude. But force being a vector quantity, we have to find out the resultant. So that is F1 magnitude F square plus F square. Now what is the angle here? 60 degree. Okay, this is the resultant force on charge minus Q, which is at A. Similarly, the resultant force on charge at B, that is plus Q. Now, let us recall as F2. Now here also these are the two forces of equal magnitude. But what is the angle between them? 120. Why? This is angle is 60. This makes a linear pair. So the angle between F21 and F23 is 120. So we can say F2 magnitude here theta is 120. Now one thing we should remember, cos 120 minus 1. So we can write like this, F square okay, that is minus 1 by 2. Now, next is resultant force on charge. Now, these were denoted as charge 3. Now, what are the forces here? See, there is F31 of magnitude F, F32 also is magnitude F. Again, the angle between them, this is 120. Why? This angle is 60. This is making linear pair. So angle between F31 and F32 is 120. So the resultant force F3, we are finding out the magnitude. Again F square plus F square. Here also theta is 120. Now cos 120 again is minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this is how the resultant force on charge at C is F. Okay, so this is about example number 1.7. Okay, so see, with that we have seen the number of examples based on the Coulomb's law. First were for the point charge. Now here we have seen for a system of point charges where we have seen more than 2 charges. Now see, our next topic is a new topic, that is electric field. Okay, now see, in the beginning of the lesson we saw that the electric charge produces electric field. Okay, okay, see, the main work of electric charge is to produce electric field. Okay, see here, very important topic that we have to see in great detail. Now electric field is denoted as capital E. Now remember, small e is for the charge of the electron and capital E is for the electric field. Okay, now first we define this. See, the region around electric charge in which effect of charge prevail or experience is called okay. Now the charges which produces electric field are called source charge. Okay, now the charge which is used to determine the magnitude of the electric field is called the test charge. That is we denote as QZ. Now for simplicity, test charge is always unit positive charge. Okay, now see the simple definition. Now we are seeing F is equal to K Q1 Q2 there is a vector form. Here, see one of the charge Q1, this Q we said test charge, sorry source charge. And second charge Q we say is Q0, that is test charge. Now force is a vector quantity. Now how do we denote in a vector form F at a position vector R? Why? See, by doing this we are finding the electric force at position vector F R, or the distance between the two charges R. Now let us say K, Q, Q0, R square and R prime. Okay? Now see the simple definition of the electric field. This Q0 will take in the limit. That will be Q by R square and R prime. Okay? That is the simplest thing for electric field. We can define as E is equal to F upon Q. Okay? E is equal to F upon Q. Okay? Now here Q naught is nothing but our test charge. Now we find out the unit of the electric field. Force is in Newton, charge is in Coulomb. So the first unit is Newton per Coulomb. Now the second unit is volt per meter. Capital V stands for volt here. That we'll see in the second lesson. The second unit of the electric field will be volt per meter. Now about the dimension, Newton is M1 L1, force is Q1, M1 L1 T minus 2, charge is A1 T1. That is M1 L1 T minus 3 A minus 1. Okay, that is M1, force is M1 L1 T minus 2, charge is Q is equal to IT, so that will make M1 L1 T minus 3 A minus 1. Okay, that is nothing but dimension of the electric field. So this is again regarding the electric field. The region around the electric charge in which the effect of the charge prevail or can be experienced is called the electric field. The charges which produces electric field are called source charge, and whatever position in the space we have to determine the magnitude of the electric field, we have to put a test charge. Remember, test charge is always unit positive charge, that is Q0, we always take the +1 charge. Okay, this is how we simply derive the formula for the electric field. Okay, now electric field is force upon charge, we have derived the unit and dimension. Now this is basics of the electric field. Now we talked about source charge. Now we have to see in detail which charge can produce the electric field. Okay, so there are different combinations. So the electric field can be produced by point charge. Only one point charge. See, the source charge can be positive or negative. Then they can have system of point charge. Yeah, more than one point charge. See, then we have a specific system, that is electric dipole. Okay, that we'll see in detail later on. Okay, a dipole is a system minus Q charge and plus Q charge, both of the same magnitude but opposite polarity, separated by some finite distance. That makes the electric dipole. Okay, then we have to see about linear charge distribution. Okay, there is linear charge distribution. See, it is denoted by lambda. Lambda is called linear charge density. Then we have to see about surface charge Now think of a wire. Think of a charge plate. Now see, in linear charge distribution we can have a wire which is maybe positive or a negative. Surface charge distribution we have got sigma, that is surface charge density, and finally volume charge distribution. We can have a solid object like solid sphere or a cylinder, and that is given by the volume charge density, that is volume charge density. Now these are the various combination of the charge which can produce the electric field and force. First can be the point charge, system of point charge, electric dipole, linear charge distribution, that is denoted by lambda, surface charge distribution in which we have a surface charge density. We can have a hollow sphere also. Okay, and we can have a solid sphere which gives the volume charge density. Now we start with the first one. This can be asked in a 2-mark question. Derive electric field due to point charges. Okay. Now let us say, see, Q charge is on the origin. Now see our trace charge anywhere whichever position vector R in the space. It can be 3 dimension or 2 dimension. Now see, the force F is equal to K Q0 upon R square into R caret. See, by definition, electric field at position vector R will be F upon Q0. So in that case, our Q0 will move to the denominator. That will give KQ upon R square into R. So see, the electric field at the point position vector R is given by R square into R. See, the R is a position vector. Of point P, where we have to find out electric field. So this is nothing but the electric field of a point charge. See, we have seen the first type, that I derive electric field due to point charge. Q charge is at the origin. P is a point which has the position vector R with respect to origin, and we have obtained electric field due to point charges.